Hi guys, Ian here, and this is the MOONDROP Golden Ages 2 True Wireless Earbuds. And after 2 weeks of use with this, it has grown on me quite a bit, more than I expected. And actually MOONDROP's first Golden Ages model is already quite popular, and this 2 iteration, it aims to be better with upgraded driver, improved ANC, and a more flexible tuning app. The retail price for this is $90 plus minus. So if you're interested to find out more, do check out the unaffiliated link down in the description below. Alright, so let's begin my thoughts and opinions about this GA2. I'm going to call it GA2. And let's begin with the accessories. So it comes in this box, very nice box with this anime girl in front with a retro look to it. At the back there's some specs. So let me just go through that. It comes with Bluetooth 6.0, right? Bluetooth 6.0, and it comes with quite a bit of codecs, and the codecs that it supports, best of all, is LC3. It also supports LHDC, LDAC, and the standard SBC and AAC. So if you're high-res Bluetooth lossless kind of guy, this is the earbud to go for. The charging port is USB-C. The battery for the earphones is about 40 milliamps, and the charging case about 400 milliamps. The lifespan of each bud is about 8 hours. I've used it the entire day. Usually I would need to charge it just one time, but other than that, it's fine. And with the charging case, it's about 24 hours of extended use. That is if you're not on the high-res Bluetooth wireless codec. Alright, now inside the box you get a bunch of documentation, the user guide, the warranty card. I'm not going to go through all that. You get a charging cable, which is a USB-C to USB-A charging cable. You get a bunch of extra ear tips, 3 pairs, small, medium, and large. They are oval shape. And you get this very nice suede protective case for the charging case. It looks very nice, very decent, and it's hard shell, so very well built as well. And of course you get the earbuds themselves with the charging case. Now let's talk about the design and build quality of this GA2. Now from first glance, the GA2 is very striking. The design retains like a very retro aesthetic cue, echoing the reel-to-reel tape machines. Now in terms of the case, the charging case projects more character than average blend rectangle. Somewhat is chunkier, with tactile lid feel, a bit of heft to it. The finish is matte and is resistant to fingerprints, and the decorative motifs are nicely integrated, as you can see. The protective case here helps to protect and preserve all this finishing here. Now the case uses USB-C for charging, and it claims to deliver 24 hours of extra playback, with this case. And also it comes with wireless charging. If you have this symbol right here, so it's wireless charging as well. The magnets hold the earbuds in quite solidly, and I don't feel any looseness or creaking in the lid itself after 2 weeks of using this and opening and closing hundreds of times. And it's pretty secure. The pairing button on the case is at the back here, though it's a bit flushed, so you don't actually accidentally press on it, but it's pretty okay. And so far I find that the design on the case is pretty alright. Alright, now let's take a look at the earbuds. They're modest in size. They're not too small, it's not too big as well. It's a stem style. The stems are pretty okay. The oval shape of the earbuds are actually quite substantial. Okay, they're made of plastic. It's matte on the stems. a little bit of a gloss somewhere around here, but it's mostly matte, and it's better finish in my opinion than the original Golden Age. I saw minimal seam irregulations or burrs in contrast to the complaints about the first version, well, likely because of the tolerances, I guess, in their manufacturing. The nozzle shape is short, is squat, and is oval, as you can see, which have both pros and cons. The stem has branding and decorative motifs, but nothing garnish. The touch sensor is somewhere around here, and is very responsive and consistent based on my experience with it. Overall, the build quality feels solid for the price, and upgrades over the original noticeable in the finesse and tolerance. Though of course one must accept that this is not a premium metal build construction. Now, in terms of fit and comfort, in my daily use with this GA2, it has been comfortable enough for multiple hours use, with only occasional fatigue when I use it for a little bit too long. The short oval shaped nozzle helps to reduce the deep insertion pressure, which for me is pretty comfortable. However, because of this oval shape, the seal is a little bit more finicky. So the correct angle and the rotation of this earbud in your ear, it matters a lot. So I often had to twist and slightly get this thing to really fit in my ears. And once I get that seal, the passive isolation is very good. And I also discovered in more active motion, like walking briskly or even light jogging or running, I'm rushing to areas from A to B, the seal can shift a little bit, especially when the earbuds are pushed a bit. I didn't lose them, but I had to adjust them every so often. So yeah, it's a little bit annoying for that. Now, in terms of weight, I didn't find them heavy at all or fatiguing, and it's very lightweight. So at times I can just forget I was wearing them, unless I move my head very sharply. I can feel a little bit. But compared to many stem style TWS, they're quite okay. Sorry, quite fitting to my ears. In terms of comfort wise, it's good, but it's not really flawless. Especially when I'm listening to it for more than 4 hours, or when I'm wearing it for more than 4 hours. There's a little bit of pressure that starts to build up, especially in my ears, and it depends on your ear concha geometry, but for my ears it tends to get a little bit of pressure inside my ear. Alright, so let's talk about the technical performance or the sound performance of these earbuds. First, the soundstage and imaging. So the perceived soundstage is decent for in-ear true wireless earbuds for this. It doesn't pretend to be speaker wide, but its layering and microspace are well handled. Instruments are fairly separated, and imaging is kind of stable. Panning cues and instrument placement are pretty natural laid out. Compared to other TWS in this price bracket, I would say is above average, more expensive than many cramped in-ear head kind of earbuds, though not on the level of full open back over the head earphones. Now, in terms of detail retrieval and resolution, this is where the Golden Age 2 impresses me. The driver configuration of this, which is the patented 13mm double suspension annular planar magnetic driver, it is advertised to give low distortion, which is about 0.05%, and it gives a pretty strong dynamic control, but in practice, transient details like plucked strings or overtone shimmers or subtle reverb tails comes through very cleanly without obvious smearing. Quiet sounds reveal useful micro details without turning into a glare or harshness. And tonal air is pretty modest, but the detail floor is really solid at this price point. Now, compared to many dynamic driver TWS, which I've tried and reviewed, the GA2 shows superior clarity in the mids to upper mids with less masking in more complex songs. Now, in terms of tone and timbre, the timbre for this leans towards natural leaning neutrality with a gentle coloration. Voices, particularly male vocals, comes through without unnatural brightness or harsh edges. There's also a slight warmth in the lower mids, which is enough to avoid sounding lean, but not so much to that point whereby it overthrows the balance. So it's pretty balanced, I would say. Instrumentations like, for example, acoustic guitars, pianos or strings, it sounds believable with a decent body in presence. And planar bass design actually helps reduce the driver coloration. Distortions are, I would say, minimal, and the tonal integrity is maintained even at moderate volume. Where it doesn't excel is in the ultra bold bass weight or extreme sparkle in the treble, but that's a trade-off to maintain coherence and to avoid fatigue. Alright, so let's talk about the sound signature of this earbud. I'll post my graph somewhere up here. Now let's take a look at the sub bass. Now the sub bass extension is present, but is not hyper elevated. You get enough rumble for orchestral kicks, synth pads, or deep bass lines, but it doesn't overwhelm you in your tracks. In very bass heavy tracks, it will chase a bit, but the sense of control, it makes it feel like it's not bloating and it's not overly rumble. Right, so the sub bass is pretty mild, I would say. Now, in terms of the mid bass is slightly elevated, right, relative to the sub bass, giving this a very natural weight in terms of drums and also bass guitars, and the transition to the mids is actually pretty smooth. So the mid bass hump does not really intrude or become muddy, right? Like for genres like pop or rock, jazz, the mid bass feels actually more supportive, but without overpowering the rest of the frequencies. As for the mids, this is where I find that is the best tuning of all the tuning, right? And the mid-range is well balanced, I would say. It's slightly warmish and a bit more expressive. Vocals are clean with just the right amount of presence. Male vocals have the fullness, and also female vocals have that clarity without that coarseness and harshness. The upper mids are energetic enough to give presence to acoustic guitars and brass without the aggressiveness. Now, as for the Planar gain, I find that it's a modest presence in terms of the lift in that region, roughly around 3000 Hertz, which gives the sense of forwardness to the vocals and the leads. It doesn't feel harsh, and it also helps to maintain the presence and the intelligibility of the track in very complex tracks, as you know, right? So it's pretty good. Planar gain is not overly done, and it's not underwhelming as well. Now, in terms of the treble, treble is polite, but it's competent. I would say the GA2 does not push a bright sound signature. It doesn't push a very aggressive treble. Instead, it treads very carefully. So you get that air, you get the cymbals, and you get the sparkle, but with a bit of restraint. Now, you don't get sibilants on this. It's actually quite rare. Though on very bright recording, all right, some tracks you might sense it's slightly, sibilant, but it's not painful to that point. The roll-off is beyond 12,000 Hertz, which is soft. So the ultimate high which is the air, is slightly subdued. Now, the overall impression of this earbud, I would say, is it's balanced, it's listener friendly, and the tuning is a bit colored. Now, the sound signature for this is more musically correctness than analytical edging. Alright, so compare this with other earbuds. Now, with the original, the GA2 is calmer in the treble. It's got a better build quality, and it's got a more controlled bass in a sense. It's not so edgy in terms of the treble, and overall it sounds more matured. And so it's like, you know, they improved on the tuning of the original GA, right? And against other common dynamic driver true wireless earbuds in this price point, the GA2 has an edge in terms of the details, the coherence of the song, the more complex songs mixes. Though in sheer bass slam, the sub bass is somewhat, you know, loses out to dynamic driver TWS, which might outperform this GA2. Now, versus warmer bass heavy true wireless earbuds, now the GA2 plays a little bit more of a neutral, somewhat may find it less fun kind of a tuning for genres like EDM and then also bass hits. You know, would find this a little bit underwhelming as compared to those other warmer bass heavy true wireless earbuds. But I would say this is more of a balanced tuning than the, you know, bass heavy kind of tuning. Alright, so what I like about this GA2. First is the technical performance. I would say the clarity of this is good. It brings out a lot of details, and it consistently giving me pretty resolute sound performance. The tonal balance on this is not fatiguing, so it's balanced, so there's no glare in the treble or the bass itself. The design and the build quality is actually very good, and it's improved over the original. And what I like is the accompanying app, which adds a lot of features and flexibility to these earbuds like DSP and mode control, etc. And it's very comfortable to wear, so I've been wearing this the entire day, so it's very comfortable in my ears. And overall, in terms of coherence, is better than many of its rivals out there. Now, what I don't like about this is the seal, because it's an oval shape, and it's quite fussy at times, so not a fan of that. And occasional adjustments, which is annoying, you know, is in my ear, and then when I'm walking fast, it like goes out of position. So yeah, not a fan of that. And also the bass is not hyper aggressive, you know, and for bass heads who wants a little bit more deep rumble, it may feel a little bit restrained. As for the treble, is safe rather than daring, so I would hope that, you know, the treble is a little bit more transparent and a little bit more aggressive, and I would want maybe a bit more sparkle to it. And so far I've been using this to make phone calls. I've not stressed the mics enough or too much phone calls, but I would say they are serviceable, but they are not really class leading, because none of my peers have mentioned to me, hey, you sound good on your end. So yeah, I think the microphones are pretty serviceable. And in terms of battery life, although the specs claim a generous case, but usually, you know, I try not to take the earbuds out from my ears and then put it in the charging case. But when I'm on ANC and LDAC, I'm usually on LDAC. I find that, you know, the battery life is somewhat, you know, optimistic. It's not too long, so I would say it's pretty okay, but I hope that the battery would last a little bit longer. Okay, now to conclude, so I would say the GA2 is one of the more compelling TWS buys in its class. It doesn't chase gimmicks, there's not much gimmicks on this, but it aims for musical integrity, technical competence, and usability as well. Now, for listeners who prefer balanced and clean sound without all that artificial boost or shouting treble, this will definitely reward you more than those flashier rivals. Alright, so that's my overall thoughts and opinions about this Moondrop Golden Ages 2. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and also please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. My name's Ian. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in my next video. Cheers.